What is up and welcome back. We are your Colorado real estate family. It has been a while since we did a video about Littleton, Colorado. This one we're going to be covering everything Littleton with a new partner that we have brought on. Guys, listen, when we first established this channel, I think it was 3 years ago we've been doing this channel. We wanted to make sure that no matter how big we got, we were able to give you the best service as possible when you are hiring us as your realtor in the state of Colorado. So we are expanding our team. Cody is one of our new experts down in the South Denver metro area. He's going to take us through some awesome stuff in regards to Littleton, Colorado. Let's go and hop over to Cody right now.
What's up, everybody? Pete and Chelsea, thank you so much for the introduction. My name is Cody Devine, your friendly neighborhood realtor, and I am from Littleton, Colorado. I grew up here, born and raised. I'm, as they say, a native, and I'm going to be talking a little bit about Littleton, Colorado today, and I'm very excited. So, of course, thank you for joining me. We're going to cover a variety of topics as to why I think Littleton, Colorado should be the next city you move to. So, without further ado, here we go.
Real quick, guys, Cody's doing such a fantastic job on video. If you are loving this content and you are planning on calling Colorado your home, do us a huge favor, give us a call or text to that phone number right below. Right below right there, we are here to answer. It doesn't matter date or time. And if you're not quite ready to purchase, why don't you do yourself a huge favor, hit that subscribe button, thumbs up, notification bell. That way you're notified about the latest information coming into the Denver Metro up to Fort Collins. Let's get back to Cody right now.
All right, one of the first big things I want to cover is where Littleton is in the state of Colorado. We're looking at it about 22 minutes south of Denver, just under Lakewood, Colorado. A lot of people kind of mix up Lakewood and Littleton, blend them together, but Littleton's just going to be south of Lakewood and about 22 minutes south of Denver. Now, what I love about this location here is just how accessible it is to anywhere in the state. All the major highways are kind of really super easy to get to from any point in Littleton, whether you need to take 470, get on 285, or any of these major highways. It's pretty easy to get either up to the mountains or into the city. And it's also just super easy to get anywhere, whether you need to travel up to Lakewood, get over to Centennial or DTC. It's really easy to kind of get around here, and that's one of my favorite things about this area. And there's so much to do just within a 20-minute box of pretty much anywhere you are in Littleton, whether you're the outdoorsy type or whether you want to go and see one of the awesome breweries around here. Littleton is known for having a lot of great breweries, as is a lot of Colorado with our craft beer selection. So whether it's nature, nightlife, things to do during the day, whatever it may be that you're looking for, Littleton's either going to be right next to it or it's going to have something going on. I'd also just like to touch base on the average home price and kind of what the market looks like here in Littleton, Colorado. The average home price ranges somewhere between $611,000 up to $630,000. That's kind of going to be your average price of a home around here. Now, you know, this is such a big city. It feeds into two major counties, Jefferson County, which is going to be a giant school district here in Colorado, and also Arapahoe County. You know, a part of Littleton feeds into Highlands Ranch, which is going to be more south. A lot of Littleton feeds up to Lakewood, which is going to be a little more north. But in general, while it is a big city, your average home price is about $611,000 to $630,000. Now, one thing I think is really awesome is even though last year we saw those high interest rates, the highest we've seen in over 20 years, we still saw some pretty great equity for homeowners here in the state of Colorado, averaging about 6% equity still year over year, even in this crazy recession. Now, you know, with home prices being this high, it can feel a little difficult to get into a home here, but also it's great to know that your investment is just kind of making money year over year without you even having to do any major improvements or anything over time. The average days on market here is somewhere between 18 to 25, kind of depending on the price you would list your home at. So that's just another great part of Littleton as well. Now, a lot of people, if they're thinking about moving states and coming here to Colorado and are thinking about Littleton, let's talk a little bit about the rental market here. A lot of people, when they move states, you know, they want to take that opportunity, take a year and see what it feels like living in that city. Well, the average rent in Littleton right now is around $2,100. Now, putting 20% down, kind of getting all your finances together and getting ahead of that, which is some, you know, me, Pete, Chelsea can all happily help you do can make it so your home payment for a mortgage really isn't too much higher than your rent. So, it's kind of up to you, and of course we're here to help you decide what option's best for you and your family when you are ready to move. But in terms of rent here, we are looking at about $2,100. All right, now let's talk a little bit about the cost of living here in Littleton, Colorado. Of all the cities in the nation, Littleton ranks 55, making it one of the kind of general average cost of living cities here in the United States. It ranks about 7% higher in terms of cost of living and 29% higher in terms of the average home price. A lot of people also want to know about how the schools do here in Littleton, Colorado. Well, of over 10,000 school districts in the nation, Littleton ranks about 778 in terms of how good their schools do testing-wise compared to other schools around the nation. Now, I can tell you from my personal experience, I went to Bear Creek High School in Lakewood, but it kind of feeds in and is pretty close to all the other high schools. The extracurriculars are fun. A lot of the schools are very nicely updated. It's a pretty great area to go, and all these schools are pretty easily convenient to get to, have great transportation systems with buses, things like that. So I would say, just in my opinion, it's a pretty great area to kind of get to go to school and grow up in. All right, now, of course, these numbers are great. It's great to know these facts about where you're going to live, but let's throw that all out the window for a second, because I've just been, throwing numbers at you. I want to talk about the things there are to do in Littleton, Colorado. Part of the reason I loved growing up in this area, all the different places you can go. There's so much to do, and so let's kind of talk about that, huh? So one thing I want to talk about that not a lot of people know is that a lot of these Littleton homes were built between the 1960s to 1980s. Now, what's unique about that is at that time, they had a lot of architectural freedom. So we see a lot of really unique properties that aren't kind of your cookie cutter new build communities. Now, a lot of people love those very new houses with, gray walls and white cobblestone counters and all that. And there is some awesome pros to that. But for me personally, when I tour a lot of homes in Littleton, you see a lot of really unique little features, and it's all because these architects kind of had a little bit more freedom in that period of the 60s to 80s when a lot of Littleton was built to kind of do the things they wanted to do. So, you'll see a lot of really fun homes that kind of show that off. So I love that fact. Now, I think we could talk a lot about the food in Littleton, Colorado. I know I could talk a lot about it. While you do have, your chain restaurants, you also have a lot of really uniquely mom and pop owned places. I'm going to talk about a couple of my favorites, but I think I could probably just do a whole video on the food and cafes I really like in Littleton. But for now, I'll pump the brakes and kind of tell you about some of my favorites. So my favorite pizza joint is actually located near Clement Park, and it's called MC's Pizza. I just always think that pizzeria is super tasty. It's ran by a family and just been owned and operated by them for quite a long time. And it's always just a really cool, New York style vibe when you go in there. So I really like MC's Pizza. Now, another one that I would say is my personal favorite restaurant in Littleton is actually kind of tucked in. It's called India Nepal Oven. Now, fun fact, when I was 16, it was my first job. I was a server there, and I got to eat the food like every night for free. But even then, here I am 15 years later, and I still love eating there at least once a month, but try to be good. So maybe not always once a week anymore, right? But I think that place is so tasty, and it's kind of tucked in. You have to Google where it's at because, it just doesn't have a sign right on the side of the road. So you kind of have to go down some stairs to a little hallway, and it's right there. So it's, super adorable restaurant. But the food there is amazing, and I'm not just saying that. Anyone I've ever brought in there loves India Nepal Oven. I mean, it's such good food. But while we're on the topic of food, we should talk about what may be the most historical restaurant in Littleton, which is called the Melting Pot. It's actually just a fondue-style restaurant located right in downtown Littleton, and we'll talk more about downtown Littleton in a bit, but I want to talk about the Melting Pot because it's super unique. It used to be a library. It also used to be a prison, so whenever you go there, while it's a super awesome environment and a really fun eating experience, they will also tell you it's haunted, and Me personally, I've never seen anything the few times I've eaten there, but I just think it's really interesting. And if you're passing through, you're coming to visit, I think the Melting Pot is a great place to go. Not only because it's a great restaurant with a great backstory, but because downtown Littleton is an awesome place to walk around. I want to talk just a little bit more about downtown Littleton, where the Melting Pot is. Now, what's great about downtown Littleton is, once again, it's connected very conveniently to Santa Fe, which is it's not a highway, but it's a road that kind of runs really far. You can take it all the way to Denver, or you can keep going out east. It's just kind of a really convenient road. It's also right next to ACC Community College. A lot of people like going to that school as well. Now, I think the cool part about downtown Littleton is just all the shopping there is to do there. Whether you're looking for breweries, restaurants, ice cream shops, shopping, haircuts, massages, whatever you need, it's all there. And there's just so many good places to choose from. Not just a Melting Pot, but there's a family-owned Italian pizzeria that's been there for a long time. There's some really cool ice cream shops. There's some really great brunch. So downtown Littleton just has a lot of options that you get to walk through there. You could spend a whole day there pretty easily, just kind of enjoying all the different, mom and pop owned shops. I also want to talk about another area that I think is really awesome in Littleton, Colorado, and that's going to be Clement Park. So Clement Park is really conveniently located next to a ton of shopping as well, including Southwest Plaza Mall, which is a mall that recently got renovated in the last 15 years or so and has a ton of shopping. It's a huge mall, and just by the way, it also has a really cool escape room if you're into that kind of thing. But it's also right by this giant lake called Clement Park. So what's cool about Clement, a lot of people are always walking around the lake, and it's just, really quiet and serene and very nice. But Clement Park has even more to offer. It has tons of baseball fields, has a giant playground for the kids, but it also has a yearly fireworks show on July 4th or 3rd, depending on the year, right? But it's a great fireworks show. They always have food, entertainment, and Clement kind of does that all summer long. They kind of have all these awesome, little concerts come in. And, I think a lot of people talk about third places. If you don't know about the concept of third places, it's, there's home, there's work, where's the third place to hang out? And I think Clement Park really brings that vibe together of just everyone in the community kind of hanging around there, walking around, visiting the library that's right there, going across the street to the movie theater that's right there. There's also a few mom and pop owned restaurants over there as well. There's just tons to do, and I really think there's just this really awesome sense of community when you're there. So I just love that area, the shopping, the relaxation, the summer events. There's so much to do, and I just think that's great too. Now, earlier in the video, I talked about, man, Littleton is just so conveniently located, but you might be saying, Cody, what does that mean? What is it by? I wouldn't blame you. If you're watching this, you're probably wondering, what is Littleton, Colorado? Where is it? Why is it conveniently located? So I'm going to talk about this. We did mention it's 22 minutes from the city. That's great. It's about 30 minutes from the mountain. That's great. But let's talk about what cities are nearby. Now, my personal favorite is Morrison, Colorado. It's kind of right out of Littleton. You kind of get off one exit off 470, and it's right there. Now, Morrison, Colorado, for those that don't know, is home of the Red Rocks Amphitheater, which is just a worldwide famous concert venue. And fun fact, where I also had my high school graduation forever ago. That's neither here nor there. So it's an awesome area. Morrison also has some really great shopping, gorgeous views, awesome hiking trails, and it really is just pretty much in Littleton. It's right there, very convenient. So I just love Morrison. You're also 30 minutes, maybe 40, just depending on how you drive, from Evergreen, Colorado, which has some awesome hiking like Mount Falcon, has a great lake to walk around in. There's tons to do over there as well. You're also really closely located to Golden, Colorado, which is another one of my favorite little cities in Colorado. Golden, Colorado was actually originally the capital before Denver was, a long time ago when people started coming here during the Gold Rush era. Golden is another place that has tons of awesome events all summer long. It also has Colorado School of Mines, which is a super famous college for engineering and jobs like that. But Golden is just an awesome city that has some you know, great views, great entertainment going on, and once again, the shopping too. Well, biased as it might be, I will say I do think Littleton is a great place to live for whatever you need. There's all sorts of different things to do. Thank you guys so much. Thank you, Pete and Chelsea, for letting me talk about my favorite city in the world, Littleton, Colorado. Now, it doesn't have to end here. I know this is kind of a crash course, but if you want to learn more, come in, fly in, give us a call. Let me give you a tour of the city. See some of the homes around here. There's so many awesome things. I'm happy to drive you around. So, you know, otherwise, please subscribe to this channel and make sure to leave a comment telling me what the next thing you'd like to know about Littleton and any other of the surrounding cities in South Denver. Once again, I'm your friendly neighborhood realtor, Cody Devine. Thank you guys for joining me today. Have a good one.
Awesome information, Cody. Thank you so much for partnering along with us, helping us out with that South Denver metro area. Guys, again, if you are looking at calling Colorado your home, we're talking the Denver metro all the way up into Fort Collins. Give us a call or text at that phone number right below right there. And if you're not quite ready to purchase, why don't you make sure that you do follow along by hitting that subscribe button, give us a thumbs up, notification bell, that way you're notified of the latest information coming into the Denver metro area. Until next time, we love you. Bye.